This video will contain spoilers from the manga, you have been warned. Now after the ending of the war arc of My Hero Academia, I was kind of turned off by the manga because I felt like it was going very fast to the point where it was not able to actually give enough breathing room to the characters, which was kind of necessary, especially coming out of such a huge arc where it was supposed to be a huge and massive decisive battle which is going to change the course of the entire country, if not the entire world. That's why I had sort of stopped reading the manga for a while, but now I have come back to it, and even though I still hold on to that particular notion, but then again I have to admit for a fact that I am absolutely loving the downfall of the character of Deku in these last couple of chapters. So hello and welcome to NYZ, my name is Soam and thank you so much for joining in. In this video we are going to talk about Deku and why I feel like his fall is actually perfect and perfectly implemented in the manga as well. Now when I first saw this particular image, I was obviously reminded of comic books, especially some of the more famous Batman storylines and some of the other anti-hero, specifically 90s anti-hero storylines which have been really popularly adapted in the stories across manga and comics as well. It's a very common trope where cheerful heroes sort of turn into an edgier and grumpier version of themselves because of the scenarios that they are currently facing. This is sort of like the anti-hero turn which these laughing shonen protagonists actually have to take, and Deku has been sort of the motive for this particular thing. When My Hero Academia came out for the first time, he was initially touted as the crying face baby, or rather the crying superhero, because no matter what, he just always wanted to cry. He cried at almost every single possible location. I was fine with that. I didn't really have any major problems with that because I sort of understood where the series was trying to portray this, but now this is a very massive tonal shift, and I feel like personally a lot of people are sort of misunderstanding the whole concept behind this thing, because number one, this is not an Eren Yeager like situation, this is not a Lelouch like situation, this is something totally different. Now on a first glance, it definitely feels like Deku has sort of abandoned everyone and he's going on his own path of vengeance. That is quite understandable, but it is not exactly similar to say someone like Eren Yeager. This is a sort of different scenario. He has not abandoned everything. He just is doing currently what is necessary for him, and you have to understand it from his point of view as well. Moreover, the most important thing here is that his uniform only looks edgy, and it is obviously a reference to the comic book industry as well. Horikoshi is a huge fan of American comics and he's just having a blast implementing all of these different stuff here. And the most credible thing here is that his suit, it actually makes sense why this looks so edgy, grumpy and sort of torn off, because he has not been able to rest for a single day after this particular war had started. Because yet again, you have to understand this from the context of everything. After the war ended, the entire society is in shambles now. The trust upon the heroes is totally gone. People, civilians are taking up arms and trying to protect themselves even though they are not really qualified enough for these things, and unchecked use of quirks, unchecked use of powers are only leading to a worse situation overall. And in the midst of all of that, there are a bunch of different prison outbreaks and villains who are running among the city. So the situation is really dire at this particular moment, and in the midst of all of that, All For One is obviously taking advantage of all of these different things, and because of this scenario, because of this particular thing, Deku really had to step up. Initially he was relying upon the strength of the other heroes, the other pro heroes, but at this point in the story, he just has no other means than going solo. That is going to cost him obviously in the future. His even bigger downfall is going to come up, but that's a topic of discussion for another day. Moreover, this video is being recorded after chapter 320. I don't really know what is going to happen in the Class 1A versus Deku fight, but that particular fight in my opinion was very important because it sort of exemplifies the character of Deku, that he is the very same person, he's the very same kid who once came to UA, and he's the very same person even today, even though the scenario is not the very same. And essentially what is really happening here with this quote-unquote character fall is basically lying upon one particular thing. He has been going on after putting everyone else on the shelf because that is what is necessary here. Now here, just imagine things from his point of view. You are the center point, you are the main reason behind the war which just literally changed everything for your country and the entire world for that matter. You are the center point of a war which literally took place a couple of days back, and you are a living target at this particular moment. The trust upon the hero society is totally gone. There is no one who is going to inherently save everyone, and this is just a chaotic and messy situation. As such, if you are going to be associated with anyone for that matter, even if they are your friends or family members, they are going to be targeted directly. Sure, we didn't really get much about Midoriya's mother at this moment. We saw some flashback chapters in the hospital, but that's it. But again, that's a topic of discussion for another day. Why the manga sort of ran past all of these things, why it was too fast, and why it was not able to build the characters of other people. But here we are specifically talking about Deku, and I feel like his character fall has been absolutely on point here. It really makes sense about what is exactly going on here. Just imagine if after all of these things he just merely went back to UA, he's attending his classes, and boom, there's a huge explosion which kills nearly every other hero because he was the target of everything. You have to realistically understand it from your point of view, and that is one of the major reasons why he chose to come out of UA, and therefore he decided to go solo. He didn't want anyone else to harbor his share of pain, and that's why he chose not to include his friends in this particular pursuit as well. Sure, his friends can say that they care for him, which is actually very true, but even then, realistically, what exactly are they going to do when a huge scenario actually comes up? At this moment, Deku is trying to master all the different quirks which are currently residing upon himself, and because of this, he has been on a sort of non-stop pursuit, which is obviously taking a huge toll on his body. He has literally not slept, he has literally not had a bath. So all of these things are pointing towards Midoriya's perfect fall as a character, and once again, this is not an Eren Yeager or Lelouch like situation. He has not intrinsically changed his character. He is the very same person who appeared on UA for the very first time. He still cares for his friends, and the very motto behind him going solo, going strong, going without sleep, without food, without a bath, is that he wants to see the smile upon his friends. He does not want the smile of his friends to diminish in any way or form. He wants to save everyone, he wants to protect everyone, and that is the reason why he's just going non-stop, and he just wants to put an end to this menace. Now, in my opinion, Horikoshi has portrayed this absolutely perfectly. He has sort of played with the entire anti-hero plot points and tropes in a way. He has sort of touched upon it, especially with the character design, but not really with the character dynamics as a whole. It's like teasing but not giving. At the same time, it is being implemented perfectly, and I am so happy to see this particular change. Even though I'm still a bit sad that this series sort of went past without having any monumental character development for the other characters which are involved in the story, especially because after the war arc, there should have been some breathing room which was necessary for the other characters to grow. But like I said, these complaints are for the other characters, but Deku's portrayal here has been really on point, and I feel like his quote-unquote character fall is totally perfect. It also sort of coincides with Horikoshi's love for American comics, because there have been panels which seem directly like an inspiration of the Batman comics, where Deku is just standing and looking over the cities, so that was really on point. Horikoshi is really loving all of these things, which is quite apparent from this particular arc of the manga. So anyway, that's it for this quick video. Thank you so much for joining in, guys. What do you guys think about all of these things? Please do let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. So that's it for today. This is WonderYZ, and I'll see you soon in the next one. In the meantime, be sure to like, share and subscribe to the channel. Join the channel membership for some very cool perks and features, and join our Discord server for more anime and manga related discussions. With that being said, this is WonderYZ. See you all on the next one.